Hey, Toni.
Hey, y'all.
Hey! In our country accents. From the South. Okay, guys, so we wanted...
Oh,
what you... I was like, why she looking at me like that? What'd I do?
No, just like... laughing at you. Being our country.
Shut up. Okay, guys, in all seriousness, we wanted to talk about the celebration of Lupita's beauty and why it's important. And why we feel it's important. I know some people have expressed like, oh, I'm kind of tired of seeing.
Congrats, Lupita.
Yeah, she is shining right
we
now.
We love
in
you.
Spotlight, and she deserves to be there.
Yes, and
absolutely.
I'm excited about it. Like, I'm super excited, especially as a teacher, and I see the girls that don't necessarily see a woman with a darker complexion getting as much shine as she is getting right now. So she's like defying the standard of beauty. She defies not only with just her complexion, but her hair texture and the length. So so yeah, those are just a few things. And why it's so important is because this was not necessarily our struggle growing up, but it's still our struggle as a whole, as a community, and I take it on as our struggle. I'm more of an in-between complexion, so I was never considered yellow, but I was never considered dark. I'm just kind of brown. I can be a lighter brown or a darker brown depending on time of the year. And they're lighter than me, but it's still kind of like we're in between. Like our mom, no. There's no denying that. Her texture as well. Like mom is what people call yellow, and her texture is really, really loose. So we have, it's like a mixture. And our dad is brown.
Reddish brown.
Yeah, and he has a kinkier texture. So kind of, it wasn't our struggle. Like we weren't considered like, ooh, like they say in songs, the bad yellow. But it wasn't like the negative. I didn't get the negativity of having a darkened complexion like I experienced, especially in Texas, in the South. A lot of people in the South don't have shame in saying some of the stuff they say because it's so common. And
we hear it amongst our family, friends, and it's like unconsciously you hear it until you sit and you think about it.
But it does hit. I know the people they say it to, it does hit them hard, and I feel it. And it's kind of like, I'm sorry that they're saying that, but we don't. Some women I've noticed, this may not be your truth. You may have been sheltered from this. You may not see this at all, but I know as a whole, it is the truth for a lot of us. And they do, it does bother them, and then they do go through having, feeling, I guess,
put down, unwanted, unpretty, and all that.
Yeah, unpretty in a way. And we know everyone, like I know there were lighter girls that will come back and say, well, they didn't want to be my friend, or they had their own struggles. And yes, I'm not taking away from that at all. I know there are some girls that were mixed or things like that, and they also got bullied as a result of the other girls feeling a certain way about themselves. But I mean, I know that would be dismissed by lots of people they know, for example, as, oh well, they're just hating on you, or it's because you're pretty, and they just don't want to be your friend because you're pretty. So then they kind of get that put back in, that self-esteem, like, well, it's because I'm pretty. So they, feel good, as the other girl may not ever hear she's pretty at all. And then the thing is, that girl that was bullied by those girls, she can look in the media and she can see, hey, there's a Beyonce, or there's a Rihanna, there's somebody that has a similar complexion to me, or there's Paula Patton, Halle Berry. These women are beautiful. Everybody's saying they're beautiful. They're on magazines. They're in videos. The guys are singing songs. Ooh, bad red bone, bad yellow bone. There's something there to hang on. So it's kind of like, to me, you cannot compare. They're both bad, but you can't compare the struggle. And I think in order for us to get there, like some people want to dismiss it. We can't dismiss it, but we need to address it. But still, we need to start celebrating each other and the beauty,
every color,
every shade,
tone, every shade,
every skin tone, every hair texture.
I feel the same way.
Form, breasts, big breasts, no breasts, big butt, no butt.
And we get slack on not having big butts. Like, ooh.
Yeah, we got bullied for that. We actually got bullied for not having big butts. Like,
I mean,
black girls are supposed to have big butts.
So it's kind of like, oh yeah, no butt, this and this and that. So
and
it's
I
kind of
still do to this day.
Exactly, still to this day. you know, we say these things and we don't understand how it may affect other people. Like I'll never forget my friend in elementary school, and people would just say, "Oh, you're black as night. You're black as night," or "tar baby" and stuff like that, as if that wouldn't, because it was never like in a positive way. "Oh, you're black as night." No, it was in a negative way. Or one of my friends, she's gorgeous. Oh my gosh, she's one of the prettiest girls I've seen, and she told me, she was always told, well, they tell me in high school I'm pretty for a dark girl, and she always was like, well, what does that mean? Pretty for a dark girl. And I remember it was we were at a flag football game, I'll never forget this day, and we were with one of my East African friends who her hair is really loose, and she has a pretty brown skin tone, and she was telling her, she was like, well, I'm gonna have babies with someone else of a different race because I want my babies to be pretty, with pretty hair and lighter skin. And my East African friend was like, what? And she's like, well, I want them to have hair like yours and stuff like that. And I mean, it like blew my mind, and we were just sitting there telling her, like, your skin is perfection. What is wrong with you? Why are you thinking like this? Like, not just like, do it because you actually love the person, but not because you want to have babies that are going to be pretty. Why can't your babies be pretty and still have a darker skin tone? So I mean, like, this is our reality. It wasn't like we weren't talking about that way, but we grew up witnessing this, and I knew it wasn't right. And you want to build those, like, you're beautiful, but I'm like, as a community, if we celebrated this more, I mean, you can see the cliques broken up even online, kind of like, oh, these are my friends, and you kind of like, well, y'all kind of look the same.
Well, it is what pound team dark skin.
We
light skin.
Hashtag, yeah, we don't all that, and then no, and I mean, like, on our Facebook page, we'll post different hair textures, different complexions, and it's all beautiful to us.
We celebrate it all.
And I'm like, if we did that more, and especially at a time like this when she's being celebrated, I'm like, we need to take this, rub it in, keep the momentum going, because I mean, like, that's something that there are girls who really don't have somebody to look to. Like she said, if she wouldn't have seen a leg wig, she said it herself, she had an issue with her skin. But she said she saw a leg wig. What if she would have never seen a leg wig? Like, just think of it. So there's some girl out there that's looking at her now. What if she would have never
saying I'm beautiful and may have never ever been seen or was in the spotlight to where she was beautiful and her skin tone or hair texture was celebrated? This is it's a big deal. And we were saying, like, the hierarchy also exists, like, with hair textures as well. I mean, I see the same thing with I'm not going to play down, I'm not going to take away anyone else's struggle, that I know that people, when they go natural, they don't necessarily want a kinkier texture. I've seen that quite a bit, like, oh, the good hair thing, and I addressed that in the last video. And I'm like, we need to tackle that. And we need to make sure we celebrate all of it, because I mean, a lot of us do have kinkier textures, but I noticed that there are a lot of channels where those are the channels that don't get followed as much, that have the kink. I mean, not like a curly kind of kinky mix or just a curly mix, but like a kinky barely curly mix. You know, you don't really see those channels like celebrated, or, you know, everybody going around, oh, your hair is so pretty. It's not. It's kind of almost like oh, I wish my hair would do that. I'm just going to watch your videos and I wish my hair would do that. It's not the reality for a lot of us. And a lot of us, I've had women just say they're just afraid that their hair would be nappy. And I'm like, what's wrong with the kinkier hair? Like, come on, tell me. And our hair is kinky. A lot of people don't think it is. Well, not going to say a lot, but some people don't. We've had comments where people like question the hair texture, and I don't like the hair typing thing, but our hair is kinky.
Yeah.
And
if you look at those two, like when their hair is wet, Toni and Carmen, like their hair barely curls. Like usually if you look at their styling videos, it's kind of like always like a fro. Like if you go back and look at their videos, I have kinky curly, and it's almost an even mixture to me. It's like I'm like kinky curly, but when my hair dries and I touch it, poof. Like if I want my curls to stay defined, I have to slather it with gel. And I mean, like, if you saw my defined curls video, I was like, and that was that, and that doesn't even last long. And I'm like, I'm not gonna force my hair into being curly if that's not what it wants to do. It likes this. So yeah, but I noticed there's a, it's the same thing with the hair, it's the same thing with the color. And I'm like, but some people like, well, we just keep, we keep talking about it. I'm like, no, we really don't address it. We just always just put it under the rug. Sweep it under the rug. It's like, I'm not taking away the struggle of either side, but I'm like, we need to address it. There is one
that's greater than the other.
That is greater than the other. I'm like, if you were on that other side where like, well, it's because she just hating on you and you're pretty and you're this, and you see someone in the magazine that looks like you don't want to feel like the one over here where the boys are calling you names or like, well, is she too black to be seen with in public and things like that. You don't want to feel like her. There's somebody telling you you're pretty over here. Or even if they're not telling you, you can look on TV, you see her. You see her. She's there. But I mean, like Lupita, I'm like, yes, because
I see around looking like a queen.
She looks like a queen, absolutely.
And I mean, this is also a worldwide issue. I had a Hispanic student who had this beautiful golden brown skin. I was like, you have such nice skin, and he was like, well, not in my culture. Well, his family was from Mexico. He's like, not in my culture. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, the lighter the better. He's like, they call my skin dirt. They say I look dirty. I'm a dirty Mexican. And I was just like, it's not just us. This is everywhere. It's not just us. I mean, everywhere. Indians, Asians. I was reading an article about a girl who was an Asian girl from California. She went to visit her family back in their country. I'm not sure which one it was, but she said she noticed all of the girls there looked way lighter than her, and they were just kind of looking at her like this because she had this tan, and they were all powdering their faces to be lighter. I mean, it's not just us. So but it is an issue, and some people are like, well, it's not, and I'm just like, it is, but we have to celebrate one another in order to fix it. Not complain about it. I'm not saying we need to whine about it and be victims, but I'm like, it does
celebrating
exist.
And realizing and having that realization that
it does exist. Because just in case you haven't seen it, and maybe you were raised in an area where you've never witnessed this, or you are lucky enough to be that girl that has a darker complexion, and you always had a supportive family around you that always told you were beautiful and your skin tone was beautiful. Not everyone had that luxury, so and you never had to feel that way about yourself. So this may not be your truth, but this is a reality. It is a reality. It does happen more often than not. So it's kind of like, I'm glad. I'm like, yes, there's so many women. I'm not taking away that there are already beautiful women in Hollywood, beautiful black women in Hollywood, but I'm happy to see her get so much shine, because I mean, to me, she's flawless. She's like a princess doll.
She's so humble.
And yes,
so classy and ladylike.
And her speech was so inspiring. I was just like, tears, because I see it. I mean, I watch, like I said, I watch the hair stuff play out on the playground. I watch the same stuff, the same cycle in the classroom, and I see the little girls. I mean, whether it's with hair or with skin color, I'm like, this is just elementary. And then it goes on to high school, then it goes on in life.
Continuing.
It just continues. And I'm like, we have to, if we come to like this, you're beautiful, I'm beautiful. I mean, some people are like, well, how can you say stuff like that? I'm like, our mom is the lighter with the looser texture hair, and she understands what we're saying. And I know you said you knew a woman that was treated differently. She was the darker one of siblings. I mean, I know there are stories. And there are stories, and I know if you saw for dark girls, it's for dark girls. For dark girls, I mean, those there are so many more of those stories, and I was just so excited to see this celebration, because it is there's that standard of beauty. Everybody knows that standard exists. She defies. I mean, she's like the opposite on the other end of the spectrum. And then it also proves you don't have to be voluptuous in all these areas, and there's so many women out there that I love seeing, like Eva Pickford, who has a smaller chest area and a smaller backside, like really not curves, but she has the confidence and walk into a room and will own that room, and not have to feel she has to get some kind of surgery done to feel beautiful, because she defies that. Well, what that curviness black women should have. I mean, like, if I would have let that stuff get to me, I would have been one of the first ones in line when booty implants became popular.
Yeah.
We were the first ones in line.
And we decided that's not what we're gonna do. We're not gonna change who we are to fit the standard or to please someone else.
I mean, these are just things we need to touch on. We just want to say how we were excited to see this. We still want to see even more women being celebrated. I mean, I just hope, you know, it's still on like a scale like this, and because we come in so many different shades, and you just see there are certain shades that are celebrated more so than others, and especially with hair texture. I mean, not only is it the complexion, but the texture and the length of the texture. So I don't know, just excited.
Yeah.
How about you? No, down there.
Let us know what you're thinking.
Well, how do you feel about anything we said? I know there were so many topics we touched on. Like, what was your experience growing up? Were you one of those that didn't know about any of this? Did you experience this? What side were you? You know, what did you experience? Were you on the lighter skin and you experienced bullying, or same over here on the other end? Or did you just grow up where everybody celebrated the same? You celebrated complexions and hair textures and all that stuff. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe.
Oh yes, comment below. Check out our other channels as well.
Yes,
Facebook, Instagram,
Tumblr,
and Twitter,
all that stuff, you know.
All down in the description box.
Bye.
Bye.